Hello everyone, it is I, D-tor, and I'm giving you another deck profile. This time it's the Vampire deck. I've been playing this deck for a couple of weeks now, and Primal Origin came out with new support, and I was really surprised, and I really like the new card came out, and I'm going to do a deck profile now. So, for the monsters I use triple Vampie Sorcerer. This card is the most powerful card in the deck, aside from Duke. It is your searcher. It is how you normal summon all your monsters without attributing. It is also a pretty beefy beat stick with the field spell. It goes up to 2k. And the great thing about it is that on possession, sent to graveyard includes hand destruction, or if it's another vampire player, they make you send a monster. You can send this guy and get an ad. So he's real good. Next card I play is one Goblin Zombie. I play Goblin Zombie for my tributes and to set. There are 3 cards you set in this deck. Actually 4. Mezuki, Vampie Sorcerer, Goblin, and PRIMAL. I play one Goblin because I think he's a dead draw otherwise. He does search out every vampire except Sorcerer and Vamp. He will get Duke, Shadow, and Grace, who's right on the 12k, 1200 defense mark. I do like to Book of Life him and tribute him so I get the ad. I do attack sometimes, get them to mill so I get the field spell pop, but not all the time. So I don't go for that all the time. Double PRIMAL. This gets out every zombie in your deck. Really good. You can ram him, you can set him, you can do overlay, you can do lots of things with PRIMAL. And you play 2 of that. I play a single zombie master. He sets up really fast rank 4 plays. You ditch a Mezuki. Special summon Mezuki, overlay, you ditch a Shadow Vampire, for example, any monster card, you can summon out a Mezuki. You can overlay for Leviair Chain, send a Grace to the graveyard, and while detaching Mezuki, you can use Mezuki's effect to special summon Shadow Vampire, and then pay 2k for Grace, and you get 2 of your vampires on field, one with the trigger for the field spell. So really good. Ditch any card that plays like that, options. I play triple Mezuki in a zombie deck that you have to normal summon a lot. He is your special summon answer for cards in your graveyard. Really powerful. I'm glad he's at 3 now. He's also a really good beat stick with the field spell. He comes out to 22. I play one Vampire's Curse because I go for a lot of rank 6 plays. He special summons himself during the turn. He was destroyed by battle, so you run him over, he comes back, pay 500, he gets 500. He'll be 25 originally with the field spell and 3k with his own bonus. Plus he comes back with Vampire Grace, you can overlay with him. Another thing, he's a Dark Vampire. He's one of the older cards that actually can trigger the field spell, so that's good. I don't play Vampire Lord because I believe he's pretty slow and you can just pop cards before you battle rather than after you battle, because it's dangerous to do after. I play one Shadow Vampire. This is the worst vampire in the deck. The fact that you cannot attack with him the turn you use his effect really slows him down, especially since you can special out Duke and overlay with him, and then Vampire Bram can't attack, so you can basically have to skip your battle phase for a turn, so there's that. Another thing is he can only be used for the XYZ of a dark monster. There are 3 dark monsters, XYZ level 5s that you can use, and he really does slow down the deck in my opinion, but I do have to play him because it's vampires. I play Triple Duke. This is the best card in my opinion. This will activate your field spell multiple times, and the reason he's the most powerful is because he does it primarily on your opponent's turn as well as your turn. Let's say you have him in the graveyard, you can call the Haunted with your field spell active, you get a free pop, a free send and a free pop. You can play Takeover when you have a face-up Pyramid Turtle, Mezuki, whatever, and you get the field spell and you get him out, you still get a pop, and you can use him next turn for whatever you want, tribute, whatever, attack. He will come out in defense, but that's good. His other effect is to special summon any vampire from the graveyard. So let's say you have a Grace on field, you can activate her effect at the beginning of your main phase 1. send a spell, send a trap, send a monster, whatever. You tribute her, you normal summon Duke, you bring her back out, and then use her effect again, because the effect of Grace is once per turn, but it doesn't say the effect of hers is only limited to that turn. So if you do recycle her like that, you can use that effect multiple times. Duke, on the other hand, says the effect of Vampire Duke can only be used once per turn, so you can't abuse the crap out of him. And these are my Vampire Graces. I don't like the way she looks, so I stuck this art on her. It's Morgan and Lilith from Darkstalkers. Here's my Grace. I should have the other one right here. Yep. These are my normal Graces. As you can tell, her art is really scary, really ugly, so I switched to this one. I play locals really only, and they let me play this. If not, you know, you got this for the tournaments. She's the rank 6. You overlay with her for M7. What else? Photon Strike Bouncer. Other things like that. She summons herself, so when you're going for game, you can use Mezuki, Duke, bring out a bunch of monsters, bring out herself to attack for game, because they are pretty beefy. If you get like 3 or 4 vampires with field spell on, that's game for you. I'll put this over here. I play 1 Vampire Vamp. This is fresh out of Primal Origin, which the sneak peek was today. I only pulled 1, and no one else would trade me theirs for some reason, but I do like her. She is an instant beat stick. Special summons herself. She gets rid of cards that you cannot get rid of normally in Vampire decks. For example, Beetle's the Diabolic Dragon. He's 3,000. You can't kill him. You can't target. You can target him, but you can't kill him by card effects, battle, whatever. But you can affect him with a Vamp. You would normal summon her, tribute the entirety of Sorcerer because she is a level 7. You tribute him, normal summon her. Her effect will kick in. She'll take it, equip. She gets all of his attack. So if it was Beetle's, she'd be at 5,000. Field spell 5,500. She can go for game pretty fast because of how fast how big she gets. Plus, when she's sent to the graveyard, while equipped by her own effect, she comes back instantly that turn. So, boom, you do deck Devi, alright, she comes back. What is it? Enemy controller, tribute, take control, you get their monster, she comes back. Her effect is active again. You normal summon Vampire Sorcerer, take another monster. You took 2 of their monsters, assuming you did this play, and you have a beater. This is pretty much a game, right? I do like her. I'd play 2 if I did have her, but I only have 1, so there's that. There's room for her. I play 1 Dark Armed. You do have a lot of graveyard control in zombies in general. So Duke can graveyard control, Vampire Grace graveyard control, Sorcerer, spells, Book of Life, Burial, Mezuki. Yeah, so a lot of control. Why not go for Dark Armed? Really good. For the spells, I run 3 Vampire Kingdoms. This is your field spell. It gives you the power of attack and popping and getting over big monsters for free. It also Foolish Burials, but it is mandatory, so if you activate it and your opponent Foolish Burials with nothing on the field, you are forced to pop one of your own cards. It sucks, but it's still a really good pop card. So I play triple that. I play 1 Allure of Darkness. A lot of people love this card. I'm not too big on it, but I do play it. You just draw 2, banish, dark. You really don't want to lose any of your sorcerers, so you want to use it on stuff like Duke and Grace that you have multiple of. I play 2 Book of Lives. I don't play 3 because I believe 3 kind of clogs the deck. Because if you draw onto this first turn, it's really useless unless you really send a monster with your own card effect. Say your opponent sends a monster and then you'd be like, okay, Book of Life, you lost it instantly, you shouldn't have, but didn't, but whatever. This is a Monster Reborn essentially. Good for zombies. 1 Dark Hole, destroy everything on the field. 1 Foolish Burial, sets up fast plays if you did draw really bad, but you did draw Foolish. You can send a Vampire Sorcerer to the graveyard, banish him, do the thing. Send a Duke, summon a Pyramid Turtle, set a Vampire Takeover, end phase, activate, Takeover, get through field spell, summon the Duke because you did Foolish Burial the Duke first turn, and you get Duke's effect because you have a field spell. That's another play you can do. I play 1 Burial, send all your Sorcerers and Mezukis back to the graveyard that you banished. That's pretty cool. Double MST because people do run dumb back row like Roll Decree Skill Drain, what is it? Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, those will all be sided again, or sided into you, and you're gonna have to deal with it. So I believe 2 MST is really good. I do main it. Yeah, this is another preference card I run. It's Fires of Doomsday. What this does is, it's a quick play, and what you really want to do is play it on the end phase of your opponent's turn, because when you activate this you can't summon. You will special summon 2 tokens, 0/0, Fiend, and they cannot be attributed unless for the tribute summon of a dark monster, which conveniently is all of your monsters. They are Fiend, so if you do play this card, you cannot play Takeover because it requires all monsters you control to be zombies, and this defeats the purpose. But I've never run into that problem personally, because I always tribute them. So I do like Fires of Doomsday. Plus it lets me use these awesome tokens I made, Misfortune and Ari from League of Legends. Another card I play for preference is Call the Mummy. This set makes really fast plays. Special summon Grace, activate effect, tribute, or activate effect, send a spell, monster, trap, whatever. You tribute her for Duke. He special summons a vampire from the graveyard. Out comes Grace again, use her effect again. That's 2 sends they have to deal with. Off of a Call the Mummy. Plus it forces your opponent to deal with it eventually. If they do Dark Hole, you still have this play. You're also not relying on it, so that's also good. Last preference card is Gravekeeper's Servant. You've probably seen this in a lot of vampire decks. I only play 1, but that 1 is always helpful when I do get it. This card says your opponent must mill the top card of their deck to declare an attack. So if you have the field spell active at the same time, in order to declare an attack, they have to mill, which activates Vampire Kingdom, which kills the monster that declared the attack. Haha! So it's nice. Plus it gets rid of cards, and to be honest, it's good against most decks except, you know, Zombies, Dark Worlds, because they do like their graveyard. For the traps that I play Double Vampire Takeover. This card is really good. It gives me the field spell instantly, it gives me a special summon of any vampire from the graveyard, that includes Bram. Yeah. What you really should do is activate during the attack declaration, so you get your field spell boost and blah blah blah. You cannot activate this during the damage step because that's just one of the rulings on this card. Otherwise it'd be really retarded. Hell yeah, you just go bow, damage step, die. But no, you can do this during attack declaration or battle phase or anytime in between. When they activate a field spell, for example, they get rid of yours, you instantly get yours back on their turn, pop on their turn. This does give you faster plays, but it can be dead if you already have the field spell, because you cannot play this card if you have a field spell active. Blah, Double World Decree. Reason why I run this is exactly why I play Double MST, because of Skill Drain, Breakthrough Skill, what is it, Solemn Warning if this is already active, Trapstone, Trapstone. But yeah, this really keeps the deck alive if you can get rid of their back row. Most of the time, if you're like me, you are targeting the back row, and you're having them send spells instead of traps and monsters with your own effects. Roll Decree slows them down. They can't Shadow Imprisoning Mirror you because they will side at game 2 and 3. But if you main deck it, what are they going to do? Also Skill Drain. You really need your effects to get anything off in this deck. I play One Call Hunted. Same thing with Takeover. You would play this on a Duke and get a pop on their turn. Or get this on a super important card and go off. One Solemn Warning, stop the summons of something huge like Beetles. I usually don't activate Roll Decree until I chain it. So if I have these two set, they'd be like, oh, activate Bottomless, haha, Roll Decree, blah blah blah. That's a bad example actually. But yeah, I don't actually keep Roll Decree on the field that long. Also, if you do see Roll Decree little dead in the water, say you can't get rid of it and you really need you to use your damn traps, you would just pop it with Vampire Kingdom, because eventually you will end up popping one of yours if your opponent forces you to. And you can get rid of this, and your traps are suddenly live again. I play Compulse at 1, it's at 1 right now. Get rid of Beetles. Basically I hate Beetles. And that's it for the main deck that I run. For the extra deck, I run 2 Vampire or Crimson Knight Vampire Brahms. This card is your boss card, becomes 3k with the field spell, destroys absolutely everything, takes absolutely everything. You shouldn't be afraid to double knock with this guy, run into Mirror Force or anything like that, because on his destruction, by card effect or battle, he comes back next standby phase. You whack into a Blue Eyes, comes back. He loses his Blue Eyes. Of course he loses his attachments, but it's a sacrifice that, you know, you really should make sometimes. If I'm really afraid of back row and I know it's some kind of stupid Mirror Force and I really want them to waste it, I always go for Crimson Knight, attack into their face down, get Mirror Force, don't even cry about it. I run 1 Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. He overlays over Bram when he has no materials on him, makes him pierce, gives him 26. It's really good. Play 1 Shark Fortress. This is the other dark overlay that you can go for in this deck. You can double up Bram with field spell to be 3k twice into the face, double up himself to be 48 or anything else. In general, hell, you can double up Goblin Zombie, make him mill too. But since there are not a lot of exceeds you can go for because of the restriction on Shadow Vampire and Vampire Duke, you can play, you have to play it. The last rank 5 dark I play is Adreus, the Keeper of Armageddon. He can attack the same turn he pops, you know, he detach, pop, attack. 1 face-up card. So, he's good. The non-5s I play are Maestroke, Beetle, 2 overlay darks, basically Zombie Master and Sorcerer. You go for him and you protect something like your field spell or your back row. Most of the time you're not protecting anything. I don't really go for him that often, but he is an option. I also play 1 Maestroke, stall card. Detach to save a face-up Djinn from being destroyed. You can also book a moon anything. Use him to get over anything you need to. I play 1 Leviair, the Sea Dragon. If you have noticed, I don't play any level 3s in this deck, but because I play Bram, it is possible to take their level 3s from their graveyard. Say they play Tour Guide, Mathematician, anything. Eventually, you will have enough advantage to overlay for him, and when you do, you can get back your Mezuki, get back a banished Sorcerer, and special. Rank 4 play, Daigusto Emeral. This card is extremely important for the Vampire deck. It is what I see as one of the 3 most important, including Bram, Lavalval Chain, and Daigusto Emeral. Daigusto Emeral will recycle your monsters that you send to the graveyard with Vampire Kingdom. If you don't have him, you have really no way to recycle him, and you will run out of targets. It is easy to run out of targets to pop with in your deck when you don't play Daigusto Emeral. You send, suddenly you have 1 or 2 left, and you're out. You play this, you put him back in the deck and you draw 1, plus that gives you 3 more potential pops with your field spell. So I think he's really good. I would not run this deck without him. Another rank 4 I play is Blackship of Corn. Gets over anything annoying, let's say Redox. He's 1600, haha, send. Honor Arc, haha, send. 1000 damage, ah, it hurts. 2 level 4s generic. Zombie Master makes him fast. If you really need to, you Mezuki him out. It's whatever the play calls for. 1 Lavalval Chain. This card, if I had 2, I'd run 2. But 1 is all I have, so I play 1. Just send the Mezuki, send the Duke, send the Grace sometimes. Those are the 3 cards I do. And the top deck effect I use is for Dark Art. And yeah, that gives you plays. Mid-game to late-game plays. Not really early game. You don't want to go for them too fast. These are off cards I play. I don't actually play Dragon's Mirror, but I do have Dragon Negro Nether Soul Dragon in my extra deck. When I do side out my cards, I put in Super Poly and Dragon's Mirror against zombie players who play Zombie World, Mirror Match. You know, you get your monster out, you get him out, you attack, you get your token, you attack, main phase 2, tribute token, get your vampire monster. Yeah, get your vampire monster, that's how you do it. If not, you can always just special him and tribute him directly. And Constellar M7 is the rank 6 I play. He will bounce back any monster or any monster and add any monster from your graveyard to the hand. So you really need a Dark Arm back? Here you go. That's what you go for. You overlay with him for Vampire Grace, I run 2, or Vampire's Curse, I run 1, so there's options for me. Plus, you are taking enemy cards sometimes. They might have a 6, you can take it and overlay. Hell, if you take a Doom Kaiser, you can Doom Kaiser again and take it because it's a zombie mirror match. But M7 is really good. Revive King and Beetles. I do side in Plague Spreader at 1, or single 1 sometimes. If you have a Plague Spreader at any level 4, you can go straight to Beetles. You go for Revive King, then you top deck for Beetles. It's really easy. And you hate Beetles enough, you know, you end up running them. So that is my extra deck. Some cards you should consider playing. If you are to, you know, staple it out instead. If you side out World Decree, then you play these cards, kind of thing. Spirit Reaper. Can't just be destroyed by battle. It's level 3 for Leviair. Easy tribute fodder. You set it, they hit it. There you go. Next turn, tribute. There you go. Plague Spreader Zombie for the plays I just mentioned for Beetles and Revived King. Negate the crap out of everything. Make your own 6s, by the way, for Constellar M7. Bottomless. Get rid of card. Staple. I don't run it, but it's a good card. I really like this card. I'd probably run it if World Decree was only for your opponents. Soul Charge. This is if you're playing like Vampire Destructo build, where all you do is send cards to the graveyard with Vampire Kingdom, play Soul Charge, hope to live a turn, and then attack for game, because this will get out all your monsters pretty much instantly. It's actually cheaper to play this than Grace, because Grace requires 2,000 life points for you to spend to special summon herself from the graveyard when a monster is special summoned by a zombie, which is super specific, but I do use it a lot. If you play Soul Charge, then you only play 1,000. Assuming, of course, you're only going for her, but there's that. Book of Moon, another staple. If you're playing World Decree like I am, you need a lot of quick play spells to keep yourself alive. Book of Moon is one of them. So is Forbidden Lance. I don't currently main deck it, but if you Lance a Shadow, when you get Bottomless on a summon, you still get a special. And basically, when you're going for Shadow Vampire, it's early game setup, so you set down, you'd special a Grace, a Duke for the pop, or a Shadow, or a Sorcerer, so you can get a Nat. But there's that. And Dragon's Mirror for the Dragon Necro, which is really fun to do. You banish 2 Pyramid Turtles, which are dead in your graveyard anyway, with the zombie, or with the Vampire archetype, and you get your monster. 2 DPs, really good to get rid of cards that, you know, you should really get rid of. There's a new Skull Servant card coming out called White Prince. Friend is proxying the crap out of that. Basically, he gets, with White Prince, he gets a King of Skull Servants up to what, 11,000? Yeah, you DP him and you watch him cry. Plus, this gets over Beetles. Torrential Tribute for blowing up the field on the summon. It's not that bad to play when you're in a Vampire deck. It's really good to main, but when in making choices which trap to run when I play World Decree, I chose against this. Deck Devi, really fun card. All of your vampires are over 2,000, except for Sorcerer. So everything you summon, which is easy to summon, you can Deck Devi. Get rid of that 1,500 or less monster everywhere. Do it on attack declaration when they attack you with a 14. Be like, haha, Deck Devi, die. Plus, this hurts against Madolches. I've had this happen to me. It really saddened me. Mirror Force, 1 or 2. Really good to play. It's, you know, basic trap. Get rid of monsters. Second Shadow Vampire, if you really like it. I don't like him enough to run to, especially since Vampire Vamp came out. Soul Exchange. It is hella funny to Soul Exchange into a Shadow Vampire, into a Duke, and get a pop. They lose like, what, 2-3 cards, and you gain this. And because you're going for Shadow Vampire, you're probably not gonna be doing Battle Phase anyway, so there is no downside to that. Double Grace. yeah, that's about it for my deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys liked what you saw, let me know. If you guys didn't, let me know. If you guys want to see more deck profiles from me, let me know. If you guys don't, let me know. I don't do this very often, but when I do, it's because I freaking love this deck. It's so much fun. The reason I made this deck was because I heard it sucked, I heard it was slow, and I really like underdog decks. It surprisingly got new support, and I love it for it, man. Vampire Vamp is probably the best card art in the game. Uncensored. She's on a bed. The name Vamp means like a seductress kind of thing. If you can look it up, it's alluded to in her effect, in that she seduces an enemy monster and encrypts it to herself. Plus, she's super attractive. It's really good. I love this card. I'm probably going to put it everywhere. But I don't have much else to say. Thank you for watching my deck profile, and I'll catch you guys later.